Hello, Blythe, Evie, Joe, Jack, Callum, Cadence, Lucy, Orion, and anyone else who's listening. Welcome to Story Time. Today's story is Where the Wild Things Are. Story and pictures by Maurice Sendak. And just look at the inside cover where he's drawn these beautiful images of plants and how detailed everything is. This book won the Caldecott Medal Award in 1964, which means it was named the best picture book of the year. So, Where the Wild Things Are, Story and Pictures by Maurice Sendak, and this is a HarperCollins book. Now, Maurice Sendak did the scenery for the Seattle Ballet Company when Amara was in that ballet company. Lucy, you'll have to ask your mom about the show that he did the scenery for, and the next time we're all together, we all need to hear from Amara about how amazing the scenery was that Maurice Sendak did for the Seattle Ballet. But for now, let's begin the story. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. Oh my goodness, look at the mischief he's making. He's nailing a big nail into the wall with, I don't know, he's tied things together for it to be the line. Oop, I don't know. And another, oh my goodness, look at him chasing the dog down the stairs with a fork. And look, the picture on the wall says, by Max. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. Oh, look, he is not happy about that. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. Oh my goodness, look at that forest coming up right in his room. And grew. Oh my goodness, look at that, right in his room. And grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. Wow, that's amazing. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. Look at him sailing off on that boat. The boat is called Max. And in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. Oh my goodness, look at that wild thing in the water coming toward him. Looks like he's got some smoky breath. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Yikes! Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick. of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all. He is king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Oh boy, what is a wild rumpus? Oh, it looks like it's singing and dancing and calling up to the moon. Look at that wild rumpus. Oh, and now it's swinging from the branches of the trees in the forest. Look at that. And they've all got tails hanging below them. Some are longer than others. Those are some pretty interesting wild things. Look at Max's feet. And look at his claws hanging on to the branch. Oh, and now they're giving Max, the king of the wild things, a ride through the forest. Look at that. They are all celebrating their king. They are all so happy to have him there and be taking part in a wild rumpus. Now stop, said Max, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. He's missing his mom, isn't he? But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. Look, there he goes. And sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. Boy, he is a determined sailor, isn't he? And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. The end. So, see, Max's mom sent him up to his room without giving him dinner, but she brought the dinner back to him, back upstairs to him, didn't she? And he smelled it when he was imagining being where the wild things are and decided to come back because he wanted to be back in his own room with his mom in the house. Well, I hope you like that story. When I was younger, we used to call any kind of big hoopla celebration a wild rumpus. Let the rumpus begin, we would shout. So, I hope you like that story. This is the back cover of Maurice Sendak's book with a beautiful illustration. And I hope you all continue to have a great imagination and use it every day to think up great stories and dream of faraway places. I also hope you're still taking good care of yourselves and that you're loving on each other and loving yourselves just the way you are, you wonderful, imaginative beings. And never forget, I love each one of you to the moon and back. We'll be back together tomorrow for another story time. Bye-bye.